Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Calling the September 11th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Would you please stand for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hubbard.
Here.
Commissioner Bradshaw.
Present.
Commissioner Helms.
Here.
Commissioner Barlow. Commissioner Morse.
Here.
Chairman Hassett.
Present.
Vice Chair Gillette. Here. Commissioner Patillo.
Here.
Commissioner Martin. Here. Commissioner Ruge.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Automated announcements, please.
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the chairman's discretion.
Items today are a recommendation by this commission forwarded to the Board of Supervisors, which that meeting will be on Monday, October 7th at 9:30 a.m. in this same location with the exception of any continued items by this commission to the next meeting. With that being said, item number 1, Alex Bolin.
Item number 1 is an evaluation of a request for a petition of exception for a waiver of the maximum length of a cul-de-sac for Scenic View Estates, Tract 3543, being a proposed subdivision of Assessor's Parcel Number 402-25166 in the scenic vicinity. The petition will extend the cul-de-sac length to approximately 1,180 feet, servicing 17 lots. Mojave County Public Works and the Beaver Dam Littlefield Fire District have reviewed the plans and offer no objections. Staff finds this application is proper for consideration.
Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? Good morning. Name and address for the record, please.
Sean Hughes, 621 East Old Mill Road, Mesquite, Nevada. I'm just here for if there's any questions that you guys have concerning our project.
There's no one signed up to speak on this item, so do commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
I have one quick question.
Bradshaw.
So, thank you. Have you discussed this, the length and the water quality with the water department?
Yes, we've been involved in this process for more than 2 years. So we've ran a 10-inch water line from where the Beaver Dam Water Authority stopped on Edwell Canyon Road, approximately 2,700 feet up there at our own expense, and then brought I believe it's a 6, maybe an 8-inch up our own street that we're asking to be, for the waiver today with. So
Great, thank you.
To extend on the water question a little bit, the line you've brought in that would service the cul-de-sac, is that going to be able to be looped, or is that going to be a terminal?
So we've created an easement at the end of that cul-de-sac to continue past our property if somebody wants to continue there.
So it could be continued. It could be if the water company needed to loop it due to the terminal end, they'd go in there and do that. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions for the applicant? No? Thank you very much. Close the public hearing. Do any commissioners I'd like to call for a motion?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
First by Martin, second by Bradshaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Item 2, Alex Bolin.
Item 2 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 402-59151 from an AR agricultural residential zone to an R1 single-family residential zone to bring the property into compliance in the Beaver Dam vicinity. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak this time? Okay, no applicant present. No comments. No other people are signed up. So closing the public hearing. Is there a motion on the table for item 2?
I'll second. Go ahead.
First by Gillette, second by Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 3, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 3 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel numbers 402, 66, 135, and 136 from an RE10A residential recreation 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an RE1A residential recreation 1-acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Beaver Dam vicinity. Staff finds that the application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard condition.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak? Okay. No applicant. No comments from commissioners. No one else is signed up. I mean, I assume we would, but there's not here. Well, you can continue. Okay.
The water situation, so I do have, would make a motion. Postpone it.
Want to make a motion to continue to the October meeting? Okay, so there's a motion to continue this item number 3 to the October meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Yep.
Okay, we have a first and a second. First by Martin, second by Rugi to continue to October meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion is continued. Item 4, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 4 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 120-05110 to allow for a 110-foot telecommunication tower in a CMO, commercial manufacturing and open lot storage zone in the Lake Havasu vicinity. Staff had received 3 letters of opposition, plus the one additional letter that was received just before this meeting. Staff finds that the application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard condition.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Please come forward. Yep, name and address.
Linda Grice, 102415 East Via Linda, Scottsdale, Arizona. On behalf of the applicant, thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, first I'd like to say that the site is initiated by Verizon Wireless. They picked this location as a site designed to fill a gap in their service. The site has two possible parcels that are zoned commercial that are large enough to accommodate a tower of the size that's requested by Verizon. One commercial piece, we were unable to work out an agreement with the landowner. This is the only location that we were able to get a deal together that will facilitate the tower. The code asks for 300-foot setback from residential. This tower is located 650 feet away from residential. The height at 110 feet is because of the slope of the ground in the foothills area going down to the river. The height's needed to be able to accommodate the coverage area. So I will now stand for questions.
Before we begin and open it up to other commissioners, you have no affiliation with SBA, I'm assuming? I mean, this was a request for deferral of the agenda item, but it sounds like it's more of a opposition for the agenda item.
I'm not affiliated with SBA. SBA is a direct competitor, but this site, I mean, that letter says that they want to approach the carriers to see if the carriers can go up the road to their
Co-locate on
site.
an existing
Right.
tower. Yep.
So
Okay.
this site's initiated by Verizon as a build-to-suit. Verizon is looking to locate in this area at this intersection to fit their network.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you very much. Opening up to commissioners' comments or questions for the applicant. Okay. Hearing none. Thank you very much. So item number 4, obviously entered as a letter of opposition. Shonda Fonts. And then that will be followed by Carol Rodriguez.
Good morning. My name is Shonda Fouts. I live 2168 Westminster Road in Lake Havasu City. I'm here today to request that you deny the special use request for the property that's adjoining my home. As a resident, I've experienced firsthand the significant light and noise pollution from the property, which already has a negative impact on our neighborhood. The security lights disrupt the natural light environment and invade our homes. The light pollution affects our quality of sleep and creates a nuisance for those who live in the area. Moreover, the property has been improperly used already for residential purposes. There's actually people living in the storage units. These people have vehicles like motorcycles and trucks with no mufflers, which they start all hours of the night, apparently to keep their batteries charged because they're hooked into that, running into the units. The ongoing noise throughout the night creates environmental that is disruptive and unsuitable for a residential neighborhood. So I strongly believe that there's a more suitable location for this tower. There's no need to impose further disruption in the area meant for peaceful living, especially when there's alternate sites all around there. There's vacant land all around that's not adjoining residential areas. So I ask that you consider these factors and the well-being of the community before making your decision.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Carol Rodriguez.
My name is Carol Rodriguez, and I live at 2232 Buckingham Boulevard in Lake Havasu City, and I'm also in the same neighborhood as Shonda, Canterbury Estates. A 10-story plus tower at the end of a residential street and the connector from London Bridge Road to the London Bridge, the visitors' traffic flow goes down London Bridge Road, and we're talking about putting, and we don't even know what the tower is supposed to look like. I took pictures in Flagstaff and in Prescott and other areas and didn't find any of these towers in residential areas. They were all in commercial areas or, undeveloped areas. I don't know if you're familiar where they're proposing to put this, but it's residential all the way around. There's a fire station right across the street. So there's emergency vehicles coming in and out of there. We have the airport to, I guess it would be the north. And so we have airplanes, commercial, or not commercial, but small airplanes and military airplanes coming over the neighborhood at all times. And this is a 10-plus story proposition. So I think, like my neighbors, that and I'm on the board of the Homeowners Association, so there is opposition to having this tower located at this site, and we would hope that you would take further consideration on other open sites or commercial sites that better suit this placement. Thank you.
Very much for your time. No other individuals wanting to speak on item number 4? Are there any follow-up questions from commissioners to the applicant?
I do have a couple.
The applicant, please come back to the podium. Commissioner Bradshaw, fire away.
Thank you. So have you considered other sites as opposed to one in this specific location?
Yes, sir. If it would be possible to show one of the exhibits from the staff report that's got the zoning on it. Can I show this somewhere?
You can place it right there. It says lay document on the top of the podium and it'll go on the camera.
Oh, thanks.
Might have to turn it.
He always spins it.
Oh, never knew that.
Okay, so here is where the tower's located, in this hard corner on this red piece. The residential area is off to the side here. So this is zoned residential. This is commercial, but it's got like an RV park in it, people staying there. So the red pieces are the sites that are possible for the tower. So there's 2 locations. One, the site that we're on, the site across the street that we couldn't make work. So if it moves, I mean, it could move to this piece, but it actually just doesn't fit because of the layout, what they have. This is the only location that we could get it to fit on the site. So we did look, we tried to move it around, and we've moved it to the corner so that instead of being the 300 feet from the residential uses, it's 650 feet.
And then, continuing with that, what kind of lighting is required for this height of
There's
tower?
no lighting.
There's no lighting required, even next to the airport?
That's correct. There's no lighting.
Not even a
required.
flashing beacon or anything of that nature for that height of tower?
There's
think
no
he's
lighting required here.
I think he's referring to an advisory beacon for aircraft.
Yeah, for aircraft.
Right. I don't believe that there is any lighting required at this height in relation to the airport.
And I assume you have cleared this with the airport boards and
The FAA, yes, sir.
One of the other questions or concerns that I brought up was sound. There's no audio attached to this tower in any way. There's no
Right,
sound
the
being
equipment that runs is on the ground. It's in a cabinet. It makes less noise than your typical home refrigerator.
Unless a backup generator kicks on.
True. If the back,
Let's just
I
lay
mean,
it all out on the table.
yeah, everybody's power will be out then, and
Right.
we'll
No, I
be
understand. I
delighted
just
to
want to make
have
sure
cell
that's
phone
on
service.
record and added to the fact that there is the
Thank you.
circumstance that could happen, but thanks. Go ahead.
So you're across the street from Desert Hills Fire Department?
Yes.
Okay. That's there's nothing there. So I don't see any houses there. I go by there all the time. Which, as far as the corner where the fire department's at, which way would you be? You'd be northeast?
So this is the site plan.
Yeah,
This is the
okay.
hard corner. The residential area is back here. Access out would be through the property and out the existing gate, the driveway that's used
Okay.
currently.
So is the fire department going to use your service there?
It is possible for any governmental agency to put antennas on the site.
Okay.
There's
Area
no
does
talk
need
of,
service. That's all I have.
Thank you.
so may I,
Absolutely.
the traffic at the site, once it's built, a tech will go to the site maybe 3 times a year.
There's no one living on the property?
I cannot speak to that. I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, there's not. But I have not checked all the units to know that. But it's zoned commercial. I really can't say if, I mean, as far as I know, there's not.
I mean, it's essentially a storage unit. You guys are or leasing the land or
Right,
using
it's,
the land.
thank you, storage units.
So you cannot control if there is someone living there or not. It's not your mission.
It is an open lot storage yard with storage units to the.
All right. Any other further questions from commissioners for the applicant?
Is behind the fence.
Hearing none. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item number 4.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. First by Gillette, second by Hubbard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed 1. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5, Alex Bolin.
Item number 5 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 226-41010 to allow for a temporary fire station in an RO single-family residential manufactured homes prohibited zone in the Fort Mojave vicinity. Staff received 4 letters of support. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you. Is the applicant, or opening the public hearing, is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? Okay. Well, so do I, but, okay. All right. Motion on the table to continue to October.
Mr. Martin, Mr. Chair,
Oh, yes.
are there any questions that you might have for staff that staff can maybe help answer?
Commissioner Martin.
What is a temporary fire station? I've never quite heard of that.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Rugi, the temporary fire station is essentially they're renovating their current fire station. They received a ARPA funding from the Board of Supervisors to do some renovations, to do a little expansion as well. In the meantime, they have to vacate this station, and they're on a time crunch as well. As far as the ARPA money is that's required for the renovations, and so in order to do that, they're temporarily using this house as a fire station. It has a garage that's a little bit larger that can fit the fire truck itself. They went to each of the neighbors and spoke to each of the neighbors and said, "Are you okay with this in your neighborhood?" And they were okay with that. They're just going to be using it during the construction or the renovation of their current fire station.
But due to the time nature of this project, I would make a motion to approve.
I would second.
Okay, so we're withdrawing the motion to continue. First by Rugi, a second by Gillette to approve item number 5. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 6, Alex Bolin.
Item number 6 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone for assessor's parcel number 225-21112 from an AR-12A agricultural residential 12-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR-3A agricultural residential 3-acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Mojave Valley vicinity. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? Applicant is not present. There are no other individuals signed up to speak. So if the commissioners have no comments, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
We know what the water situation.
Those are wells only in that area. I don't know if they have a water allocation, but that's what they would need in order to drill a well.
Yeah, wells and septic would be the environment.
Yeah, I am ready.
Make a motion to approve for staff recommendation.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
First by Gillette, second by Bradshaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 7 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 306-07201 from an AR agricultural residential zone to a CRE commercial recreation zone to allow for an RV park in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff has received 2 letters of opposition on this item. Staff finds that the application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard conditions.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Come on down.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Kathy Tackett Hicks. I'm acting as the owner's agent. I wasn't aware we got 2 letters of opposition. What I was aware of is that there was a phone call. I had 2 phone calls from an individual living adjacent who had questions. I followed up with them. Some of their concerns included the total size of the RV and what sort of an impact it would be. And I would tell you that the total RV units will be between 25 and 30. That's limited by the gallons per, that the wastewater system will be able to accommodate. 3,000 gallons per minute is going to limit the size of that. So it's going to be very small. The location for it is really nice. Both sides of the streets, east and west, have access directly onto the highway, and both of those have left turn lanes, which is nice. Matt, could you tell me what the opposition letters, did they say anything specific? Because I'd like to address it if they did. I think this is really a great location for this. There's a little cafe.
The same
right?
letter twice.
Right in the front, there's actually the saloon bar a little ways away so people could walk. The owner intends to have long-term residents as opposed to weekend. Yes, sir.
It's the same letter twice, just signed by different people.
And it's basically just stating there's already too many RV parks. There's no specific item that they are concerned about.
And was it signed by Tony or Jesse? Because that's who I spoke with. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, because I would have called him if I had it.
It says owner, though, at the end of their name. Do they own a park near that already? JT owner?
No, probably just joint property owners.
Tenant owners.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Any questions or comments for the applicant? Okay, hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
May I have, I'm very sorry, Ms. Donaldson? Twyla. Oh, okay. Well, I can see that now. Twyla Donaldson, please. I mean, now that I know what I'm looking for, it makes total sense. The name and address for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Twyla Donaldson. My address is 3313 North Hoke Road in Golden Valley. And my first opposition of it is when the signs were placed, they had the wrong address as far as where this RV park was going to be located. So when I did go and talk to some of the neighbors, they were confused by that as I was, because it does state on the sign that is posted there that it's on Chino Road and Tuman Road instead of Oak Road and Mazatazel, however you put it. And my concern is because there is a bar there and there is older people living in this area, that the sound level, the noise, we've already had some issues with the bar that the neighbors have complained about. Also with the water and the sewer, because my neighbor that lives just north of me has not been able to finalize his property because there's a water sewer problem, which is just basically this property is here and his property sits here. So that's my main concern, is that this is just the wrong area. And from, if you're taking Oak Road or Horn Road out to Highway 68, there is not a left-hand way to get onto that road. You have to make a right, you have to go down a couple blocks, and then make a U-turn. So that is, and I also have, and I
appreciate your time today, ma'am. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Uh-huh.
There's no one else signed up to speak on this item, so if not, and there's no further questions from the commissioners or comments, I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 7.
I do have maybe one other question for
The
the
applicant?
applicant.
Would you please come on back? Reopening the public hearing. Fire away.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What is the water situation? Is it a public system? Is it a well scenario?
Yeah, it's a public central water system. There's a fire hydrant real close by to that, so
And then-
he will have to apply, get his
Sure.
meter, go through the whole thing, but there is a system available.
And then ultimately you have an on-site facility for the treatment for
Yep.
for sewer.
A septic that'll have to go through the county
Mhm.
environmental health
And this
department,
is-
environmental
And
quality.
it's a maximum of 30 units based just because of the
Yeah, normally they say with a 3,000 gallon tank, you get 29 RV units. I think the initial layouts from the engineer show 27, 28, 29. So I'm comfortable saying between 25 and 30, there'll be an owner's manager on site unit. So
Require
that is going to be what it is. And I want to clarify one thing. I wasn't clear when I said there's a left turn lane, and I meant off of 68. She's correct. It's not from these roads, but coming off 68, you can turn onto there. So I didn't intend to mislead you.
Yeah, and I can see that there is a turn lane, a left turn lane onto
Yeah.
Hook Road.
Yeah.
Correct. Nothing further.
Thank you. Any other?
My question is just, what is the length, is this anything from one night on as far as this?
Right. So I spoke with the owner, obviously, and he does own some manufactured home parks up in Oregon and some mini storage. So this is not new to him, and he understands the dynamics of these types of things. So he's looking for long term.
Long term.
He really is looking for long term, but he said there's going to be a point where you have to get people in, and then hopefully sign them up for the 6 month or a year, something that gives more stability to the unit. But that'll take a little bit of time.
So I do have one more question then. So ultimately, this is not necessarily a transient RV park. This is for a mobile
Right.
home type style.
Right, the RV park is hoped to be maybe a senior, someone who has a unit, doesn't
Interim.
have a house, needs a stable, secure place to live, that can walk to a cafe.
So ideally, this ends up being kind of a permanent RV, or not RV, but a mobile home style facility.
No, it's an RV park.
Hmm.
It's an RV park, but a lot of those are long-term,
I see.
especially in the pandemic. Those became really popular because people needed to
Okay.
get outside, so. And there are lots of other RV areas along 68, but look at them. I mean, they're still packed.
Yeah, they're full.
It's unbelievable. So this is a super small one in comparison. I think it's a nice location. It's got the infrastructure to support it, and I would ask for your approval.
There's no other questions, comments, or concerns for the applicant. I'd like to close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to entertain a motion for item 7.
Make a motion to approve per staff recommendations.
First by Gillette, second. Second by Patillo. All in favor?
Aye.
None. Hearing none opposed. Item 7 carries. Thank you. Item 8, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 8 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 306-25009D from an AR-10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR agricultural residential zone to allow for a minor land division in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff finds that the application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard condition.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? Thank you. I don't have anyone signed up to speak on this, so if there's no questions or comments for the applicant, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 8.
Second.
First by Patillo, second by Bradshaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Item 8, motion carries. Item number 9, Alex Bolin.
Item number 9 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 31614-063B from an A general zone to an AR2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone to bring the property into compliance in the Dolan Springs vicinity. Staff received 1 letter of opposition. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? Doesn't appear to be. So if there was no questions or comments, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 9.
Make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
First by Gillette, second by Patillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed. Item 9 carries. Item 10, Alex Bolin.
Item 10 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel numbers 318-21059 through 070 and 098 and 099 from an RE recreational residential zone to a CRE commercial recreation zone to extend the existing commercial recreation glamping facilities and amenities in the Meadview vicinity. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. The applicant is present. Is there any questions? Or do you want to speak on this? I've heard glamping.
What you do on the weekends, Joe?
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Kathy Tackett Hicks. I'm acting as the owner's agent. I just want to give you a little thumbnail sketch of this thing again. So I've been involved in this parcel for many years. Initially, I processed some special use for helicopter landing spaces up there. It was years ago, a western town. Mr. Russman purchased it, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something. And throughout that time, I processed a couple of rezone applications to commercial recreation. This location is all the way up Diamond Bar Road, right at the tribal boundary. So if you look at that map up there, those lots, just to the right of that is the tribal boundary. So that's how close it is. He does, to this point, he's proceeded on his commercial development. He has a little restaurant up there. He's got horseback riding. He's got, he has the ability to land helicopters, although I don't think that's going. But he has several glamping units, and it's starting to come around, which is kind of nice for economic development. So he purchased these additional lots. He does want to expand it. They have a water well out there. He's got some renewable energy for power out there. And so it is moving forward, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, but I am happy. This is kind of a unique thing.
you very much. Any
Yeah.
questions or comments for the applicant? Hearing and
Thank you
seeing
much.
none. Thank you very much. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 10.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, let's give one to Helms because he hasn't had anything all morning. So first by Rugi, second by Helms. All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, item 10 carries. Item 11, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 11 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 241-15008 from an AR 36A agricultural residential 36 acre minimum lot size zone to an AR 8A agricultural residential 8 acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Yucca vicinity. Staff finds that the application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard conditions.
Thank you. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to speak at this time? I didn't think so. So, questions, comment from commissioners?
I have some questions for staff if just indulge me. So it looks like this is kind of the first little look at this area as far as breaking it into 8 acre parcels. Everything else appears to be 36, and I understand, I can see that it's in keeping with the general plan as far as rural, but maybe can you give me an update or an idea of how this looks and what it looks like in the future?
Chairman Hassett, Commissioner Bradshaw. So, yeah, there's one parcel. I mean, when you have these 40 acre parcels, any number, it's not in the same section, but it's in the section diagonally to the southwest. There is one parcel that has been split, or there's two 40 acre pieces that are adjacent to each other that were split into one 4 10 acre parcels. The other one did 4 8 acre parcels. The idea with the 8 acre parcels is that if you have to dedicate roadway, then they still meet those minimum lot size requirements as they go through the parcel plat process. But in the Yucca area plan throughout kind of this whole Dutch Flat area scattered throughout, there are quite a few that have done something similar where they take the 40 acre parcel and split them into these 4 8 to 10 acre parcels. And so it's not something that's happening at a super high rate, but as you kind of go along Alamo Road to the south there is a few of them scattered throughout. And so this seems to be in keeping with kind of the overall general area of a very large area out there of people doing something similar.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. And again, 8 acres is still a large parcel in by any stretch of the imagination. So, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for staff? Commissioners, if not, I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 11.
Motion to approve staff.
First by Martin, second by Bradshaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item 11 carries. Item 12, Alex Bolin.
Item 12 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 31709-102C to allow for 2 digital billboards in a C2H highway commercial zone in the Dolan Springs vicinity. Staff finds the application is proper for consideration.
Thank you very much. Opening the public hearing. Is the applicant present, and do you wish to speak at this time? Nope. Any questions or comments for this item or for staff on item 12?
I just had a couple of questions. Maybe, well, it's really just a simple question about the style of billboard and what the use of the billboard will be if the applicant is available.
They're not. Commissioner Martin?
The size of
Well, it's digital, so that means it's super bright and flashy.
Staff, do you happen to have this information, or is this preliminary for the building process?
Chairman Hassett, at this time, I don't believe we have specifics about the signs themselves. but we do have the zoning ordinance, which will govern and regulate the maximum allowable area of these billboards.
Mr. Chair, just to further clarify, also, we do have standards on lighting for digital billboards. They can't exceed a certain amount of lumens. I'm not an expert in that, but anytime, we did have one case up in the Arizona Strip where they were exceeding that. We went out and investigated and were able to get them to reduce the brightness of the sign, as well as we don't allow for anything flashing. So if it's flashing, that's not something that we would allow. And I think there's a time frame in between images that you have to maintain as well. So those are standards that we have within the Mojave County ordinance.
Is there any other billboard on that strip?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Martin, are you talking about in this vicinity or in the Arizona Strip? Okay. This vicinity.
And what's the need for the billboard?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Martin, I'm not aware of the need. I think if I'm making a guess, it's the applicants looking just to be able to advertise on a billboard. I know there are some billboards up if you continue above Pierce Ferry Road near the last stop area. There are several billboards in that vicinity. In this location, we would have to take a look at it. I know, do you have the map up?
Yeah, so Chairman Hassett.
We have a map showing where those are.
Commissioner Martin, looks like the closest billboards are going to be up to the north, just south of 7th Street. There were 2 that were approved. I actually think one of them may have been taken down, but I'd have to look into that and research it a little bit more. But we do have requirements for spacing of billboards, and this site appears to be able to meet those distancing and spacing requirements. There's also one approved to the south as well, as you go closer to Pierce Ferry Road. But again, this site would be able to accommodate those spacing requirements.
I guess my question would be, are the billboards going to be used to direct traffic to a certain business, or is...
Chair. Let's finish Commissioner Martin's item first.
Yeah, that's, I
If
guess
staff has that answer.
Mr. Chair and Commissioner Martin, that's not something that we would be able to regulate. So even if the applicant can come in and say, yeah, we're coming and we want to advertise for specific businesses, but that's not something that we can hold them to as well. State statute makes it so that we can't regulate content of signs. We can only regulate time, place, and manner. And so we really can't regulate what are they advertising unless it's something very profane or pornographic or something like that. Then we could get in there. But
I would hope
as
so.
far as the content, that's not something that we
I
regulate.
was just wondering if it was going to be used to generate business in that immediate area, or just general advertising.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Martin, that's not something that we have information on.
Commissioner Hubbard?
Is there any chance we can get these people to show up and tell us the size, what they're for, and give us a little more information?
Mr.
I mean,
Chair,
they want a billboard in there. We don't know the size. We don't know where they're at. We don't know anything about them.
Ordinance.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Hubbard, our ordinance, the definition of a billboard in our ordinance is up to 674 to 72 feet. So it's your typical billboard size that you see out there. It's 672 square feet. So they could go all the way up to that amount is what this is requesting. We could, if you want to talk to them, I believe if we continue it, we will reach out and we will say, hey, the commission has some questions, and we can bring them in if you'd like.
Where's the nearest residential property?
I believe it's right next to it, isn't it? Oh, AR5A.
Yeah, I don't.
Chairman Hassett, Commissioner Martin, the surrounding properties are zoned residential. It doesn't appear that there's any existing residences on those immediately surrounding it. The closest, I'd have to do some research on where the closest actual residence is. But the surrounding properties from this parcel are all zoned residential.
If there's no other questions for staff, I'd be happy to close the public hearing and entertain any motion on item 12.
Motion to deny.
Second that motion.
Motion to deny item 12, first by Martin, second by Bradshaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh boy. All right. You're up. Yep.
Commissioner Hubbard,
Is this for or against? What are you doing first?
It's a motion to deny. You want to deny the item, okay? All right.
Commissioner Bradshaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Helms,
Do not want to deny.
Commissioner Morse,
Deny.
Chairperson Hassett,
Approve.
Vice Chair Gillette. Deny. Commissioner Patillo,
I'm opposed to denying it.
Commissioner Martin,
Deny.
Commissioner Rugi,
I'm opposed to denying it.
Oh, hold on.
Wait, I didn't say that either, but that's what I meant.
You did say that,
That's
actually.
what I meant too. I'm opposed to this
Okay,
motion.
we're going to do this again. Commissioner Hubbard, Commissioner Bradshaw,
Deny.
Commissioner Helms,
I am opposed to denying.
Commissioner Morse,
Deny.
Chairperson Hassett,
Opposed to denying.
Vice Chair Gillette,
Opposed to denying.
Commissioner Patillo,
I'm also opposed to denying.
Commissioner Martin,
Deny.
Commissioner Rugi.
I'm opposed to denying.
So we have, we're 6-3.
Cool.
Wait.
It passes. Then.
No.
Oh, the motion fails.
Motion fails.
So now we need to entertain another motion for item 12.
I make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Okay.
Understood if the motion, the deny doesn't go, that it automatically.
Is it approved? Oh, where's legal today?
Yeah, legal's taking a vacation today, it looks like.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Martin, if the motion dies, then you need to entertain a new motion.
All right, which we have. Helms, and who's second? Patillo. Right?
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yep.
All right, so we have a second motion, first by Helms, second by Gillette. All in favor for approving item 12?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
The ayes have it. Item 12 carries. Thank you. Item 13, Matthew Gunderson.
Item 13 is an evaluation of a request for a preliminary plat and petitions of exception for the Rose 66 subdivision, tract 3089, being a proposed subdivision of assessor's parcel number 31021. 087 in the Kingman vicinity. The site is approximately 6.63 acres and is proposed to be subdivided into approximately 37 single-family residential lots. The site is currently zoned R2, which is medium-density residential, and has a 4,000 square foot minimum lot size. The petition of exception is to allow for double fronting lots, and two of the lots have triple fronting, with the condition that a 1-foot non-vehicular access easement be placed along those lots to prevent access to the lots from Rose Drive. So they would have to be accessed from the internal road of the subdivision. Staff finds that this application is proper for consideration, subject to the standard condition.
Thank you very much. Opening the public hearing, the applicant is present. Do you wish to speak on this item? Any questions or comments from commissioners for the applicant?
Did I hear 4,000 square foot lot size?
That is correct. That's the R2 zoning.
Honorable Chairman, Commissioners, my name is Kathy Tackett Hicks. Mr. Rugi, so it does, the zoning that I process allowed for 4,000 minimum because we needed to drop below a 6,000 square foot lot. That configuration is kind of crazy. So most of the lots are well over 5,000 square foot. So they're between 5,000 and 6,000 square feet.
5 to 6?
Yeah. Also, I would let you know that this subdivision, we already processed through the Municipal Utilities Commission through the City of Kingman, and the City of Kingman has accepted this subdivision as it continues to process. We'll be able to serve it with water and sewer. So that's probably that's fundamental. That means that there will be success on this subdivision. It's a nice little location. It backs up to the Long Mountain Ranch plan. In fact, one of these parcels was a part of that. So I don't see any problems with this subdivision. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
So none of the lots will be below 5,000 square feet?
Yeah, I got to look at the preliminary plat again. There might be.
Yeah, I would love to see the plat again.
Yeah. I mean, it was so long ago when we submitted it, and we've gone through several iterations.
Mr. Chair, if we could have IT bring up the slide that's on the slideshow.
You could blow that up and. Looking for the.
Would be the access point.
So the access points line up to adjacent streets along the west side, which is good. I think the thing about Rose Drive also that's kind of, I don't know, weird is it is designed as a major thoroughfare to go north at some point.
It looks like there's a few that are lower than 5.
Are there? Okay.
Yeah, I think the smallest I see is 4,779.
Okay.
And that's my question, thanks.
So there's the drainage facility on the right, even though the project backs up to the Mojave County Flood Control. So we've designed that to take all the flows from the site. There's power there, there's water, there's sewer.
Commissioner Bradshaw has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On the non-vehicular access easement, will there be a permanent wall or fence installed to prevent any erroneous or?
Yeah, so that petition of exception was to take care of the lots that back up to Rose, and yeah, the 1 foot vehicular non-access easement will be there, and there is a proposed block wall along Rose.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Any other questions, comments for the applicant?
Is there any particular reason why they're doing those lots at that smaller size as comparison to all of the streets across the street?
Well, the ones across the street are 6,000. And the market, I do believe it was a market issue. We went back and forth with some of these things. And it's a small product there's 4,800, but I think most of them are over 5,000 because we tried to keep that. But it was a market decision, I think. Is that consistent with what you would believe?
But these would be single family homes, not attached townhomes or anything
Correct.
like that? All right.
So smaller home, a little bit smaller lot, but they're trying to keep it affordable, and that's where they're getting at, crunching those a little bit.
Thank you.
You're
Any other
welcome.
questions, comments for the applicant?
I mean, I'm glad I could be here so you guys know that your service is necessary to listen to me.
We enjoy your company. Thank you. No one has signed up to speak and no other questions or comments, so I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion for item 13.
Move to approve item 13 with
First.
staff recommendations.
I'll second that motion.
First by Patillo, second by Rugi. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Item 13 carries. Item 14, Commissioners' comments. Thank you all, staff. You do a phenomenal job taking care of this and presenting the book. I do have a question. I know that we can't force people to attend, the applicants to attend these meetings, but it seems to be like a little bit of a growing consensus that they just don't show. And I feel that there's a lot of items that get continued, which is just adding to your workload. Is there a way we can encourage their attendance at these meetings, or even if it's a virtual standpoint?
There absolutely is. Let's deny it.
Oh, that's true too. Oh. They're just kind of whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't questioning that, and I do appreciate that. It seems to be that less and less applicants are coming and being here and being available. I mean, we see Kathy all the time, which is great.
I
But,
think you make a good point, though.
I mean, it's just
If it's
more and more
if
people are
it's
not
important to
coming and they're
them.
just filling out the paperwork and doing this, but there's still
So
questions.
nonchalant about it. If it were important to them, I would think.
Yep. But thank you for that clarification. No,
I
that's
think
all.
more consideration should be given to our decision if they're here or not. In other words, do they think it's just going to skate through or what?
Well, and they have the opportunity to log in online. It's not, I mean, I understand that it is a burden. It's a big county, but there's opportunity to get online.
I'm with you, though. They should put a little more pressure on them.
Can we require them to attend?
No.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I don't think we can require them to attend. Like Vicki said in the back, we do strongly encourage them to come. And we do give them the option because on the commission meeting, we do have the option to attend virtually. In a lot of cases, a lot of these applicants are clear up north and it is very difficult to attend. So we do give them that option. We will continue to reinforce what we're hearing today that we need to, it would be best if you can come to the meeting or at least attend by virtually. So we'll continue to convey that. I don't believe we would be able to force them to come. No.
Some of these things that they bring up or bring to us have water issues, sewage issues, ingress and egress, things that we don't know. So are all those up to the county to okay this time? Go through them all or what?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Hubbard, so a lot of what we heard today was based on the use, what is allowed there. We're looking at rezones or special use permits. When they come through the application process, we do require that they have to meet all of the county standards and requirements for water, sewer, streets, access. So those will all be addressed no matter what. But like you said, it's good to have some of that information at this meeting to be able to learn more about the project. So.
Well, I think he just said it, though. Our role, though, as planning and zoning is to make sure that it is allowed on the property. The rest is up to staff. And so when we ask these questions, it isn't even really our role to be knowing that information. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Helms, I'd say you can still take some of these things into consideration. Looking at the water issues that we're facing in the Wallapai Valley right now, if we're looking at a big subdivision or something like that, or big development that's going to take a lot of water, that's something that we can definitely look at as a commission, as a board. They're going to want to consider some of those things. The main purpose is we're looking at that use and the requirements that we have within our zoning ordinance and our general plan. Is it meeting those? The other thing that the commission is here for is also to take in consideration and comments from the general public. That's not something that staff really looks at. We don't make our decision or recommendation based on comments from the general public, but I do believe that is your responsibility, is to consider those thoughts and comments of the general public in that area. So that would be the.
Thank you very much.
Additionally, you could just you could deny anyone that's not here, and then the president is set. I mean, staff could easily say they are going to deny you if you're not present. History shows.
All right. Well, you got something to do next time then.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to acknowledge that today is 9/11. I think it was 23 years ago that America was attacked, and I think the commission should acknowledge that we are meeting on 9/11.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Nope. Call to the public. Okay. If no one else would like to say anything, I'd like to entertain a motion.
Chairman Hassett, if I could just add one more thing, sorry. I just wanted to point out, so typically for our general plan update that we're working through, typically our subcommittee meets the third Wednesday of the month, which would be next week. There's a planning conference that's going on next week. So that meeting is being postponed to the 25th. Of this month. And then also with that general plan update, our community meeting for the Kingman area will be the evening of the 25th here in the Board of Supervisors auditorium. And then the community meeting for the Wickiup area will be the following evening, the 26th, in Wickiup. So just a heads up on those.
Everyone on that subcommittee got that?
Got it.
And just to be clear about the subcommittee, we are there to listen. There is no, because even the last.
There's no action.
Yeah, no action.
I would say no action, but we are open to any ideas or thoughts that the subcommittee has after reviewing all of the comments or information that they received for the meeting. That's why we're here, is to entertain some of those thoughts or comments, and we can consider those.
Say there's a meeting on the 26th as well as the 25th.
So the subcommittee meeting will be the morning of the 25th, and then the community meetings in the evening. There will be one the 25th that evening here for the Kingman area, and then the following evening, the 26th, in the Wickiup area.
And is the committee supposed to be at those meetings as well?
That is not a requirement.
All right. If there's nothing else, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Have a great day, everyone. I wanted to.
You just say you have seen.